Hello everybody, this is Rachele with Amethyst Ascension, and today we are going to do a general pick a card reading for the month of April. So this is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. So be sure to pick whatever pile. I'm going to give you a second, or you can pause this video while you really think about what one you want to pick. If you're not sure, one of the ways that I say the best way to possibly, or one of the best ways I would say, is just close your eyes for a second, take a few deep breaths, nice deep breaths in and out, and just clear your mind of anything, okay? Now, the first pile that comes to your mind when you open up your eyes, that could be your choice. Or another thing that you can do is, run your hand over the screen. Pause it for a second and run your hand over the screen. Whichever pile really speaks to you. Maybe you'll get a, tingle in your hand, or something like that. And the one that's strongest, pick that. If you can't tell, then go ahead and pick a couple. And then, as with all these types of videos, keep in mind these are general readings for any number of people. So, take what works for you or resonates with you and just leave the rest that doesn't, okay? So let's begin with pile number 1. Let me put it this way. My goodness, look at this. We are going to touch on a little bit about yourself, maybe a little bit of shadow work, your home environment, your relationship, your work, career, profession, and any unknown information, let's say, that the universe wants to give to you or your higher self wants to give you. And then lastly, a goddess. Your goddess message, okay? And remember, this is for the month of April. So starting out here, I see, as far as in regards to you, see, you're a very wise person. And this is traditionally the Hierophant. This shows me that you are at a place in April that either you are the teacher, which that's my impression, that you are at a point where the information that you need to share, it's time for you to put it out there if you haven't. If you're feeling a little shaky or about the information, the knowledge that you have, there's no better time now. It's telling you, now is the time for you to be given this information, to spread the knowledge and wealth that you have of information. And the Eagle Spirit pretty much just says the same thing. The message from the Eagle Spirit is, don't worry, you got this. I got your back. Your higher self or the universe, whatever your, what your thoughts on that are, or your beliefs. But even if it's just yourself, you got it. Trust in yourself and the message that you need to share. Don't, it's a time for new beginnings. Now is the time to maybe look at things a little bit differently than what you have in the past. And just go for it, okay? The Four of Earth is about your home environment. And that, to me, shows the same thing, really. That things are good. Sorry, that's Sully. Causing a little bit of noise and havoc like he always does. But not to worry that, you know, things that you have been working for as far as your home. Sully, come on now. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. I'm sorry. Oh, I might have to pause this. Okay. Oh, the joys of parenthood. Sorry about that. So let me start back where I was on the Four of Earth or Four of Pentacles. It's pretty much a card that talks about really just maybe you don't understand why things have happened the way that they have, but just have that trust that things have unfolded the way that they are. And the same really right here, although this is about your personal, this is about you, these two cards, this is more about your home environment, but they all correlate with each other. It's just pretty much saying, hey, listen, you've got this. No more fear. No more, you know, going through things in your head, anxiety, fears about this or that, or trusting in yourself, or maybe it has to do with, you know, money or whatever your home life is currently. It's saying trust that things are where they should be and that you are on the right path, so to speak. And not to worry. Don't be riddled in fear and, you know, things are good. Things are good. Now, what I'm seeing on the relationship front, if you are in a committed relationship, what this shows me is it's really time for you to step back a little bit and really just spend some time with that partner of yours or significant other. Just some alone time away from other people. You know, maybe you've been going through some stuff, or maybe just, you know, life happens. And sometimes you get other people that want to stick their nose into your business or give you advice that they think is going to help you. And that's all fine and well, but it's saying, listen, in the month of March or in the month of April, it's really just time for you to step back from everybody else and spend some quality time with your partner. Maybe go out on a date, maybe go to the movies, you know, have a date night. Lock yourself up in your guys' bedroom and just enjoy each other. And I don't mean like that. I just mean, you know, talking with each other. Find some common interest. Go on a walk together, but really without anybody else around. Maybe go on a vacation that's just for you two. Now, if you are a single person, I would say maybe it's time for you to step back a little bit, disconnect from the rest of the world. Maybe you're going through a confusing time. Maybe you've just been out of a relationship. It's saying, take time for yourself. Love yourself. Treat yourself with the utmost respect and love. Just like you would if you were in a relationship with somebody else, giving them that time. Give yourself that time. Pamper yourself. Spring is coming. Finally, it's coming. And things are anew. And if you really want those things to blossom, which they are, it starts with you. That's what it's saying here. So take that time, take a bubble bath, or, you know, get a new oil that you just want to lavish your body in, you know, or take the time, something that you've wanted to really do for yourself or pamper yourself. Buy that new shirt that you wanted or a new outfit that makes you feel better, or go get your hair done or get your nails done. But focus on yourself. And for those relationships, focus on that relationship. You know, get back to the basics, so to speak. Now, this one for the Nine of Pentacles, this is about career and work. And let me just say, this is a very positive. I see for the month of April, whatever you've been working for, guess what? It is coming to fruition. I mean, it is in the realm of spring, you know, new beginnings, and everything that you've worked for all coming to a head, and it's time to rejoice and, you know, just be grateful and look at the opportunities, and maybe you're going to get a raise, or maybe you're going to get some sort of promotion, or maybe it's just a recognition. But you are on the right path and have confidence that everything that you've been working for is, yeah, it's right there. This is a super positive card. And this also shows more money, you know, for whatever it is that you need, or a new project that you're undertaking. And it comes back to this, having faith in yourself. Maybe what I'm seeing here is, with you being the teacher, maybe there's something that you need to teach people. And now have that confidence to go out and do it. And from that, opportunities will come. Either way, this is very positive. And then, this card is all about what other just unknown thing that wasn't related to pretty much anything. Because I had a system to these layouts today. I didn't just want to, you know, fly by the seat of my pants. I wanted a structure. So that's what I'm doing here. 10 of Cups, probably one of the most positive cards you can get in a deck. This is all about, wow, things are great, you know. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all of those cups. The thing that really comes to mind is cup runneth over in a rainbow, and people just rejoicing. It is a time of joy. April is a great month for you. A great, great month. Lots of abundance. But the thing is about this card, you have to see it. If you're a pessimist and you're only going to find, which I'm not seeing that here, but I do see that you struggle a little bit maybe with a little bit of confidence in your own abilities, okay? Which also correlates here with Rhiannon, but I'll get to that in a second. So the one thing that I would say about this card that's a little bit on the negative would be, and it's not really negative, this is a really positive card. It's just saying, this is what is happening. Things are really good. Learn to be grateful. Look around you. Look at your family. Look at your friends. Look at the job that you have. Look at the animals that are possibly in your life. Look at spring is right around the corner. I mean, things are starting to bud, and the weather is starting to, you know, get warmer. The sun is shining more these days. This is good. This is very good. April is your month. Now we go to the last card in your reading. And what do you think it is? Rhiannon. Sorceress. You are a magical person who can manifest your clear intention into reality. I see a pattern here in this reading. Wise. Spirit has your back. No more fear. Here, no more fear. Time to retreat and love yourself or love that other partner. Spend time with that person. Don't worry about these things, because guess what? It's all good. No worries, no fears. The worst enemy is yourself and your own fears. But don't worry, because it's all good. Even on the career front and joy. So your goddess message is just remember who you are. Remember what kind of power that you have. That the things that you think about, that's what you create. And have trust in yourself. What a reading. That is an awesome reading. So, my goodness. I hope you enjoyed that. So, if you picked card number 2, let's get started. Okay, let me move this over just a little bit. There we go. So, if you picked pile number 2, okay, so first of all, what I see here for about yourself is Vulture Spirit. This is a little bit of like the shadow work for yourself that we're talking about. You know, it says nothing is wasted. Let me bring this a little bit closer for you to see. Nothing is wasted. Shows me that maybe you've been going through a really, really rough time. Maybe beating yourself up a little bit, or you're just not where you were hoping that you would be currently in your life, or something's let you down, or you've been arguing with somebody. But it's just saying, and I'm seeing this more as you beating yourself up and being really, really hard on yourself. And that you're going through a transformation right now. Love begins. This is the next thing that I'm seeing. That this is the other side of it, so to speak. This is what is coming out of this transformation. You're taking those negative things, the things that have, I mean, like you have regrets and stuff like that. But it's saying, hey, listen, don't have regrets. Because all these things that have happened in your life have brought you to the place that you are now. Because you're learning. You're growing, you're changing into what you're supposed to. And sometimes, most of the time, that's difficult. I'm going through that right now myself personally, so I can 100% relate. But this is all about loving yourself, treating yourself with respect, and giving yourself the space in order to, you know, honor what you're feeling. And then figure out, okay, how do I change this? The next thing that we see, and I'll go back to that more because I'm seeing that these all kind of really correlate. So the next thing I'm seeing is about the home life, your home environment, is that, you know, there's things that have perhaps been challenging you on that front as well. And this card really just reminds us in that situation just to try to be diplomatic. Okay, you don't want to get into any more arguments if there's already been arguments. Keep your cool, be diplomatic, be understanding. However, you need to be true to yourself. Trust your intuition. Trust in yourself that you know what's right for you. Okay? So be strong in, you know, don't follow the beat of somebody else's path. Follow your own path. Be true to yourself, but do it with kid gloves in your environment right now. Okay, whatever environment that might be. Maybe you're still living with your parents, or, you know, maybe you're having difficulty with your own children or with your spouse. Whatever that is. Just trust in your own gut, but do it in a soft manner, not a confrontational manner, okay? Financial and career. What I see, this is actually supposed to be for love. What I'm seeing is that you have been working too hard or putting too much emphasis on your career or your job has been stressing you out too much, which has been causing major problems in your relationship, whether that be even with yourself. And we go back to this again, beating yourself up and having all of those negative thoughts. Maybe you hate your job and you just feel like you're in the grind or whatever. And I'm getting the same thing here. This is for work. This is supposed to be for love. This is for work. I think that it's all been definitely related. They're all related to each other. But this is a time of transition. Even this card, the Nine of Wands, is saying, I mean, you can see she looks pretty beat up, pretty tired. But this card is all about knowing what your strength is. Knowing, listen, even though it's been rough, you are strong enough to handle this. And perhaps you don't need to keep on fighting, or you don't have to go into battle again. Maybe it's about stopping what you're doing. And, you know, maybe the word insanity is coming to mind, where you're doing the same thing over and over again and you're expecting a different result. Well, that's like the definition of insane or insanity. So maybe it's time to look at the situation through a different set of eyes, or different perspective. So maybe it's time to start stopping with the negative feelings. And I'm seeing most of this is you, yourself. Because I see a lot of water here. Water, water, cups, cup here, which signifies your emotions. Okay? And then wands are obviously about your intellect and your own mind. And the vulture, that's also about the mind. So these are about your emotions and your mind. So what I'm getting from this really is just about changing your thought patterns from a negative perspective and to a cup that's half full to a more grateful and positive perspective. And ask yourself, what am I learning? What am I learning? If I'm not happy in this job, because this is the career, if I'm not happy in this job, maybe it's time for me to start looking for a different job. Maybe I have been on my wrong path. Rather than, but you got to understand that all of these things that you have gone through up until this point are the things that have got you to the realization of what you want and what you don't want. And now you're transforming. So even though the road has been weary, beyond the horizon, you are actually learning. Through all of these trying times is when we have our big spiritual awakenings. And that's what I see is going on here, is your perspective. And see, even here, this was the extra card that I pulled on all of these, which doesn't relate to any of the fields, but an overall. The Four of Cups is all about showing, how do I say this? It's, like I said earlier, about having you know, looking at what you don't have rather than looking at what you do have. You're looking at a half empty cup instead of a half full cup. So changing that perspective, things will open up for you. And we come down to the goddess message. And that's exactly what this goddess message is. Purification. It is time for cleansing, detoxification of the body and the mind. So, although, yes, the body, you know, maybe you've been drinking a little bit too much at night, trying to calm, you know, just kind of relax after the day. Or maybe you've been smoking too much because you've been stressed, or you've been eating or not eating, not taking care of yourself properly, being around harsh chemicals. But honestly, I think this is more geared towards your mind, just because it kind of correlates with everything else here. But when it boils down to it, what I see here is you are going through a change. You have beat yourself up in the past, but now with the things that are happening in your own life, not to mention how spring is upon us, you are starting to emerge. Your true self is starting to emerge. And that's a hard road. Gosh, do I know it's a hard road. But just be positive and be grateful. And the law of attraction, I truly believe in the law of attraction. Once you change that, everything else kind of falls in place. So I still look at this as a very, very good reading, because it's all about change to the positive. Okay? Sometimes we just need to get out of our own head, right? Okay, so if you chose pile number 3, okay, number 3. Okay, so remember, this is, if I can bring this over, these are about you. So I show that perhaps you have been feeling disconnected and or bored, which has really been draining you emotionally. Maybe something that hasn't, you know, that you've been doing hasn't gone right, or, you know, it's just really been, you know, a disconnect. But remember, when you're feeling disconnected, or you're looking at things like, you know, this is something that I always try to teach my children. If you're the type of person that's always looking around the corner for the next best thing, guess what? You're always going to be looking around the corner for the next best thing. Don't forget to look at the things that you do have going, the opportunities. This is what this card tells me, okay? The seahorse spirit, watch and wait, is also about a time for introspection and not wanting to get involved in some sort of drama, or for yourself, maybe just not overreacting to any situation. Just be mindful, sit back, watch others around you, watch at your own reactions, and just be mindful. But opportunity is around, I'm seeing the opportunity is around the corner, but you have to see it. Don't be so bored and, you know, kind of disconnected and not caring what's going on around you because of being so bored and just, you know, kind of like blasé about things. Be watchful. And this is what it's more or less saying. So now we go on to home, which is the Star. This is all about seeing new hope and new opportunities and new beginnings. And how appropriate is that considering it's spring? You know, things are coming to life again, and you know, it's just a really good time of year for that type of energy. New beginnings, new, taking on new perspective. You know, taking on a new project or whatever. But that's what I see here for your home and environment. Is all about new beginnings and feeling inspired. I mean, what always comes to mind when I see the Star is a star is born. You know, it's the exciting time when new opportunity is right there for you. And this shows it here too. So don't let yourself be caught in being bored and disconnected from things because they haven't gone the way that you've wanted them in the past. Because guess what? It is here now. It's time for you to start expressing yourself that way, which we go on to your love here. And this is very exciting. It says to, you know, take that, make that gesture, take that leap of faith, express yourself, express your love. And, you know, if there's somebody that you've been interested in and you've been kind of afraid to, just go for it. Just go for it. Now is the time. I just can't stress this enough. Everything is showing me that. Now is the time for you to definitely make that gesture. And you have to be ready for it. I mean, you have to be willing and open to it when it does come. Also, if you're in a relationship already, then just make a good gesture. You know, now is the time for, you know, new beginnings. Maybe your relationship itself has grown a little bit stagnant. And you have to ask yourself, is it because your partner's not showing interest? Is it because you've kind of lost interest or life happens, you know? Let's get some spark back. Start doing more things and maybe go out and, you know, buy some chocolates for your lover or partner, or buy him a little gift, or, you know, whisper something in their ear, or just give them a call in the middle of the afternoon when you're at work or whatever, or they're at work, or, you know, and just say, gosh, I just really love you. You know, just really express yourself. Be in that moment. The next thing I see here for work is the King of Wands, which is all about, now is a time to forge ahead. Take charge of your future and your destiny. The time is now to do it. I'm seeing a lot of things that's telling you now is the time. I mean, the signs don't get much more prevalent than that. Express yourself. You know, trust that things are going to work out for you. You just got to kind of put yourself out there. And your job is no different. It's saying, you got this. You know, now is the time. Is somebody holding you back at work and maybe not seeing your potential? And maybe you told them an idea of something that you had and they kind of just didn't go with it, or you've been having an idea about a job that you want to do. I never, ever suggest just quitting one job and moving on to another. I would never do that. I would always say be prepared, make a plan. But now is that time for you to start expressing yourself, putting your ideas out there, start making that plan. And the next thing we have here, which was the extra card, is the Wheel of Fortune, which is also about being bold. Pay attention to your opportunities. You know, right now you might have a difficult choice to make, but by all means, it's time to make that choice. Something that you've been pondering, maybe a different job or moving to a different home, or you know what it is. You know what this thing is. The Wheel of Fortune. You decide what your future holds by your choices. And if you don't make that choice, guess what? The universe is going to make it for you. And that's not always a bad thing. However, we want to be prepared. We want to have some sort of idea what's going on. So everything in this is telling me you maybe been bored, and it is saying still be kind of watchful of your opportunities and things that are going on, but be mindful. Start expressing yourself. Be bold. And then we move on to the very last, which is the Goddess message, which is Sarasvati. The arts. Express yourself through creative activities. So we get to the point where everything else has been leading us to the same message. It all pretty much boils down to the same thing. Now is the time for expressing yourself. New beginnings. Be watchful of your opportunities that are here. They're in April. It's just the beginning of something new, but express yourself, whether that be through music, and it says through the arts, whether that be through music, whether that be through writing, journaling, whether that be through, you know, painting or music, take up music, or, oh gosh, any number of things that have to do with creativity. Be creative. Maybe even in expressing your love. Try to think of something that's kind of, you know, outside of what you've done in the past. Be creative. Maybe make a card or, gosh, I don't know. I mean, take that as you will. You know how you are creative. You know what's already been kind of working. This is nothing new, but these cards are just saying now is the time for you to forge ahead, you know, to really express yourself, because the universe has pretty much got your back. No better time than now. The time is now. That's what I get from here. All right. I hope you found that relevant. It's very exciting. Whew. Very, very exciting. Okay, so if you picked number 3, or I'm sorry, number 4. Okay, and if you chose number 4. All right, so first off, we start with, I'm seeing some interesting things here. Interesting indeed. Okay, so first off, remember, these two are about you. We have Balance, which is traditionally the Justice card or Karma card. And then we have the Deer Spirit, Bring a Gentle Touch. So these represent you and what's going on with you. It says here, balance in all things. What I'm seeing is, in regards to both of these, be fair with yourself, be fair with others. Be gentle with yourself and others. Remember that your mind, your thoughts, you know, I always see things as far as in the law of attraction, because that's what I believe. I truly believe that. And that's a lot through life experience as well. But I'm seeing that a lot of these correlate with that. Anyways, I think the tarot and oracle kind of pretty much goes along with that as well. But, you know, just be gentle with yourself and others. And remember that any negative thoughts that you might have, that's what you get back. So what you're putting out is what you get back. So have a gentle touch, bring a gentle touch, and treat others the way that you would want them to treat you, including treating yourself with that gentleness and that love. That's what I'm seeing for you personally, your intellect. The Queen of Air is all about your home and your environment. And what that means is just pretty much the same thing really about here. It's about knowing what your intentions are. You know, it's about wisdom and clear communication with others. And just remember that whatever you think about and you put emotions into, your intention, so to speak, that's what you're manifesting. That's what you're creating. So change your thoughts, change your future. It's really that simple. I know it's not really that simple, but when you have a negative thought, think, okay, why did I have that? It's interesting that I had that. Now let's take it and think about a positive spin on it, or see what positivity we can bring out of it, or what kind of lessons have we learned when it comes to this particular, you know, negative thing that's happened to me, or presumably negative. But it's all about balance, okay? Balance and, you know, just really being mindful, okay? Now, on the love, what I'm seeing for love is true love, okay? This is the romance of a lifetime. So if you are in a relationship, this is about true communication. Having, first of all, trust that that is true love, okay? And that you can talk with your partner about anything, okay? Sometimes even the difficult things. That's how you've got to have true communication. I'm seeing a lot of this is about communication as well, and your mind. But trust in that love. And if you're not in a relationship, this is pretty much, this card says, do not compromise. Don't compromise on what it is that you're looking for, because your true love is right around the corner, okay? You will have your true love. It might already be somebody that you know. But don't compromise. Cherish yourself. Love yourself. Have faith. And for those that are in a relationship, it truly is love. It's real love. Learn how to communicate if there's any kind of rough patch. Trust in that love. And have truthful, even hard sometimes, you know, just conversations, but trust that that love will maintain. Now, on the work front, that's looking a little bit bleak, or, I don't know if bleak is the right word. It goes back to this really again in your thoughts and your thoughts here. You know, the Five of Cups, Cups is the suit of emotions, and, you know, air is all about thoughts, balance, karma. You see where we're going here? The Five of Cups is all about also your thoughts and your emotions, seeing things as if they're negative, seeing things as if always looking at the bad, you know, instead of seeing the positive in things. So it's like, and what I mean by positive and negative is, okay, you got a cup of milk. It's about halfway down. Are you seeing it as, and I know this is a cliche comment, but it's the truth. Are you seeing this as, well, you know, that cup is only half full, you know, or half empty, I should say. It's almost gone. Or are you looking at it like, wow, I still got some left. I got some milk left, you know? Gratitude, being grateful, changing your perspective, you know. The best way I have always found to do that, sorry, I got a notification. One of my children, who both still live at home. Where was I going before I... It's really just about just changing your perspective, you know, instead of feeling like, oh, this is what I was going to say, you know, when my daughter was younger and I would take her to school, and although she really didn't, because she was pretty young, but she was being bullied at the time, and I was trying to help her the best that I could, which was a rough period, but on the way, I would always do a little gratitude conversation with her and say, okay, so today, I know that there's some rough things going on, but what can we be grateful for? And she had a rough time with that because she was in a really bad place at the time, you know, because of school and because of bullies, and kids can be just so freaking rotten sometimes, you know, because they don't understand the consequences of their actions, and 9 times out of 10, it's because they're, you know, they have their own set of problems, and bullying is not really about their victim. It's about very much themselves and how they're feeling. But anyways, I would say, okay, so what are you grateful for? And she might say 1 or 2 things. And then I would start saying what I was grateful for was like, you know, oh my gosh, the ability to love and be loved, the ability to see with my eyes and hear with my ears and speak and be able to walk, and you get what my meaning is here. There's always something to be grateful for. There's always somebody that's got it way worse than you. And as long as you're always so focused on the things that you don't have rather than the things that you do have, that's all you're ever going to have. So changing your perspective and changing your outlook can change everything. It can make you a happier person. It can make you sleep better. And it can change what you attract to yourself. So anyways, sorry about the rant, but we can always look at things in a more positive light. And when things are really, really rough, we have to ask ourselves, what have we learned from this? Is this a life lesson? And if we keep experiencing the same thing over and over again, it's because we haven't learned that lesson, and it's time to take a bigger look at it. But anyways, the Two of Cups... I'm sorry, the Two of Pentacles. This is the little extra card that we did. This is also about, you'll see, if I can get it up here, he's juggling. Okay, he's balancing. He's got 2 things going on here. It is all about balance and finding that special sweet spot between whether it be work and play or love and finances, whether it be anything anything in your life where you feel out of balance. You know, whether it's your mind, which I'm guessing a lot of it is. From this reading, it's about putting things into perspective. And the last little message that we get from the goddess message is Vesta, which is home. It says, your household situation is improving either through a move or a healthy change in the occupants. So what that tells me is you are changing your perspective, your outlook. You're learning to, for the month of April, the situation is getting a little bit better at home because of learning to deal with things with more of a gentle, more diplomatic way, balance, loving yourself more, loving others more, or, you know, along that lines. And this person may be having healthy communication with this person, or just finding this new person, or somebody is moving out, or you're moving into a new home. But things are getting better because of that change, because of that healthy change. So isn't that really what spring is all about? New beginnings. Having a refreshed look on things. You know, we're coming out of the winter, the dead months, the darker months, coming into the light, coming into transformations and all that good stuff. Well, I hope you found this, you know, relevant to you. If you didn't, please just forget about it. And if you did, wonderful. If you did like this, please don't forget to hit the like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you want to be notified of future videos, which there's a lot more coming, then please don't forget to hit that little notification bell. And as always, I'm sending you guys all love and light. Thank you so much.